to the latest MLB rumors and news as of February 17th, 2022. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, and in today's video, we're going to look at the latest MLB rumors and news around Major League Baseball. I know that I just did this video actually a week ago, but there has been some big rumors and news going around Major League Baseball, even though there is a lockout right now. So we're going to go ahead and look at those 5 major things in today's video. Before I get into this video though, make sure you drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn notifications, because this is a place to be on Baseball YouTube for great baseball content throughout this lockout, and hopefully, if there is a season, through the MLB season. Now let's go ahead and get into the latest MLB rumors and news as of February 17th, 2020. The first one is Juan Soto declined a huge 13-year, $350 million extension from the Washington Nationals. He is looking for a record contract, maybe even $500 million. Could be baseball's first $500 million player. So that's our first part here. And it's understandable to me why Juan Soto declined this deal. A lot of people are taking this too seriously and not really doing the math. If you do 350 divided by 13, that's only $23 million a year. That's actually not a crazy offer for what Juan Soto is looking at. I mean, you look at how much Mike Trout's getting paid. Some of these other players in Major League Baseball are getting paid. I mean, Steven Strasburg on Juan Soto's team is getting paid upwards of $30 million to be injured each year. And so clearly, him declining $350 million is nothing crazy to me. I think that it was definitely something that you should expect. The Washington Nationals suck. For one, they're one of the worst teams in baseball. And for two, that's not a very big offer, even though in your head it seems like a big offer. And even for anybody in watching this video or anything, even for Elon Musk, that's a lot. That's probably quite a bit of money. But let's go ahead and talk about Juan Soto, because he earned runner-up for 2018 National League Rookie of the Year after only playing half a season in 2018. That's pretty big. Not an unrestricted free agent until 2025. He will be only getting paid $629,000 in 2022. That's kind of why the proposals have been going around that players need to be paid younger. Only 23 years old right now. Will be 26 at the time of his free agency. In his prime, he has not even entered his prime yet, with already putting up these insane numbers. Soto has a chance, if he stays with the Washington Nationals, in my opinion, to be one of the unfortunate stories of players who were stuck on bad teams for quite a bit of their career. And yeah, but the thing that defends that is that he's already won a World Series at 22 years old. And players that have already left the Nationals in free agency is a pretty significant list, being Bryce Harper and Anthony Rendon, and even trading Max Scherzer and Trey Turner last season, which Scherzer would have left them in free agency anyway. Now, for his stats in 2021, he posted a .313 batting average, 29 home runs, 95 RBIs, an on-base percentage of .465, a slugging of .534, and a .999 OPS and an OPS plus of .175. Now the big question here is, will Juan Soto leave the Washington Nationals? And I think that he definitely is going to. If they don't get better in these 3 years that he still has, or 4 that he still has that's remaining, then he's gone, I think. I think that Juan Soto really prioritizes winning. And if the Nationals aren't doing that by 2025 and not at least putting a good product on the field, then I just don't see it happening. Where could Juan Soto go if he leaves the Washington Nationals, though? That's what a lot of people are interested in. I think that he could go to the White Sox. I think that they would be a solid fit. They don't really have a right fielder, not a right fielder. They do have some solid players in their farm system now. If you're looking through via trade, which I think is what the Nationals should do, if they do indeed know that Juan Soto is going to leave, then I think the White Sox definitely are out. But in free agency, that makes it tougher too. So maybe the White Sox, the Dodgers, of course, you're always going to put them in here. The Dodgers, unlimited amount of spending funds. They've always got that. Same thing with the Mets. They kind of always need to be in the thing for these players, because they can always maneuver their way around with the richest owner in baseball. The Giants are another team. Now, with the Giants, the right field, I don't know if he's going to want to play there. And the Padres are another interesting team. Put him in right field for the Padres. Soto and Tatis on the same team. I would love to see it. Let's move on to our second MLB rumor, that the Blue Jays expressed a lot of interest in Tyler Mahle prior to the lockout. Now, this is true. Also, they expressed some interest in Sonny Gray or Luis Castillo as well. So Tyler Mahle's the 27-year-old ace for the Cincinnati Reds. Now, there's a lot of value in trading him, and there's a lot of value in keeping Tyler Mahle. And that goes for all three of these guys. The Reds have said Tyler Mahle will not be traded. He is a key piece to their future. But I think if the right offer is there, they'll trade him. The exact timing of the Blue Jays' interest we do not know, with them signing Kevin Gausman prior to the lockout. And in his 2021 stats, he posted a 13-6 record with a 3.75 ERA in 180 innings pitched, along with 210 strikeouts and a whip of a 1.3 whip. Now, what could this trade look like? What would the Reds want in return for somebody? Their ace, their 27-year-old ace in Tyler Mahle, who has a lot of trade value. Well, I think for the Cincinnati Reds, one clear spot that they need is a shortstop. And Jordan Groshans or Orlavius Martinez makes that a pretty good fit there. For them that they could possibly do. And maybe you get some other assets in there that could be good in this trade too. Maybe a Nate Pearson comes over or something. The Reds are really good with developing pitching. Maybe they want a Nate Pearson and some other pieces, and maybe that's a done deal. And I think that this is definitely a deal that could get done. It's just a matter of, do the Blue Jays actually need Tyler Mahle? Is the next question that I have. I think that they could use relief pitching more than a Tyler Mahle. I really do. As much as I think it is valuable to have a great rotation, I think that, and a lot of depth in that rotation, I think that the Blue Jays maybe should lean towards some relief pitching instead of Tyler Mahle, as crazy as that may sound. So for the Blue Jays, you've already got 5 pretty solid starters. I mean, Ross Stripling is a solid starter as your number 5 starter. But I mean, Tyler Mahle, they already have one of the best rotations in baseball. But if you put Tyler Mahle in that rotation, you're looking at, by far, the best rotation in baseball, in my opinion. But like I said, you still do have a lot to do in the bullpen. A lot of help that is needed in the bullpen. Now, let's go ahead and head on to our third MLB rumor. And this might be the one that everybody is really possibly excited about, because this could happen the soonest of all these big kind of free agent moves. And that's Aaron Judge possibly leaving the Yankees. What he said kind of seemed like he was intent with this being his last year in New York with the Yankees. Judge seems fine with this being his last year in New York right now. He has also said he is uncertain with his future with the Yankees, but wants to get an extension done with the Yankees before the season. Aaron Judge becomes a free agent at the end of the 2022 season. That's something to note. And what is his value in free agency? He's had a lot of injuries before, and he's very injury prone, which is very interesting because that could lower somebody's value. Like, Byron Buxton didn't get as big of an extension as he could have if he would have stayed healthy. Byron Buxton, I think, is a player that could have got at least $300 million or more in free agency if he was not injured a bunch and injured often. So I think that Aaron Judge, his value will go down just a little bit because of the injury concerns. A couple teams will be out on Aaron Judge. And there's just going to be some teams that obviously aren't going to sign him. Like the Orioles aren't going to go out and sign Aaron Judge. Clearly not going to happen. No offense, Orioles fans. But his 2021 stats, a 287 batting average, 39 home runs, 98 RBIs, a 373 batting average, on base, but jeez. Slugging percentage of 544, an OPS of 916, and an OPS plus 149, and a WAR of 6. This is a guy in Aaron Judge that put up really good numbers in his first real full season healthy. I mean, he was healthy for most of 2017, but 2021 was basically his first real year, not a rookie, healthy. What could be some potential destinations if Aaron Judge leaves? Well, the Giants could be a pretty good fit. You know, having him there would be really good for the Giants. You know, the Giants, though, have been kind of reluctant to spend money in free agency. The Mariners would also be a very exciting one. I mean, you put Judge, Rodriguez, stuff out there, that would be one that would be very interesting to see. The White Sox is another interesting one. I doubt it'll happen. But one that I was very interested with was the Detroit Tigers, actually. The Tigers, you know, it's not the greatest ballpark for hitters, but, you know, if Javier Baez can do it, then I think that Aaron Judge could possibly do it too. I like the idea of the Tigers. I think that it would be a good idea for him to come to the Tigers. That is a really exciting future already with, Casey Mize, Spencer Torkelson coming up, Riley Green, all them coming up. That's already an exciting. But you add Aaron Judge to that future, and that's talking like best in the league. And another team that's obviously a crazy one and won't happen, the Colorado Rockies. What about Aaron Judge's power in Colorado? Boy, would that be insane. And now let's go ahead and head to our latest negotiations, CBA talk stuff. It's not a very good situation. A 15-minute, very short meeting on Thursday. It's not looking good right now. And they've set a deadline of February 28th for the season to start on time. And spring training is already delayed until March. So that's kind of the news right there. Now, we have the latest proposal from MLB. And I just want to say that there's going to be a little bit of a rant at some point or something like that talking about this. Because it's really piss poor what is happening in Major League Baseball right now. There's a bunch of negotiations. They seem to be negotiating every day. And they're just not getting anything done. It seems like it's taken as a joke to me. It seems like they're just joking around it. It seems like it's for fun, but in reality, it's a Major League Baseball season that we're looking at. I just don't think that they're taking it very seriously right now. And even though they may be meeting every day or whatever, it just doesn't seem like it. When it's lasting 15 minutes, that's not even worth you typing in the password on the Zoom meeting. And so the minimum salary is what they're wanting is $630K for major leaguers. The MLBPA is $775K. So the Players Association, of course, is wanting more because they are the players. And a current gap of $145K. So the draft pick compensation has been kind of a big thing. They have proposed eliminating draft pick for teams that sign free agents. So basically, if you sign really good free agents, you're going to lose draft. Which, it just doesn't make sense. I think that it just, insinuates teams to basically not sign free agents. We already have a lot of owners that just don't want to spend money on these free agents, and now we're just kind of pushing it more. Doesn't make a lot of sense. The pre-arbitration pool is $15 million pool. MLBPA wants $115 million, very far away on that, distributed to 150 players though, and a current gap of $100 million. The arbitration eligibility is a big thing as well. And the service time manipulation is another thing. They don't want another Chris Bryant. And anti-taking measures. I really think that this is very smart. Now, the MLB wants a lottery for the top 3 picks. I think this makes the draft already more exciting than it is. The draft is really exciting for me, at least, and that makes it even more exciting. MLBPA wants lottery for the top 8 picks. And expanded playoffs is another thing. MLB wants 14 teams. MLBPA wants 12. I think expanding the playoffs is quite dumb, actually. It just doesn't really make it seem like the playoffs for me. And the universal DH, of course, both sides agree on that. And let's go ahead and head to the 5th rumor that the Rays are open to moving Austin Meadows. Now, with the way the Rays run their franchise, it is definitely possible they trade Austin Meadows or a Kevin Kiermaier. It's not a big surprise. The Rays do this all the time, and they end up winning those. It was acquired in the very one-sided trade of Chris Archer heading to the Pirates, and the Rays getting back 3 superstars in return. And Austin Meadows, Tyler Glasnow, and Shane Bass. Probably one of the biggest finesse trades of the century. 2021 stats for Austin Meadows. He posted a .234 batting average, 27 home runs, 106 RBIs, an on-base percentage of .315, a slugging percentage of .458, an OPS of .772, and OPS plus of .117. In 2019, Meadows made his first All-Star game appearance. He is an unrestricted free agent in 2025, so 4 years left of control. Only 26 years old, still has tons of potential, even though he was drafted in 2013 with the 9th overall pick in the first round by the Pittsburgh Pirates. So what is Austin Meadows' value in the trade market is a big question here. Meadows has some pretty good value in the trade market. I kind of compare him to a much better Adam Duvall, actually. His average is never too high, but he's always hitting for a lot of power and stuff, and he's a designated hitter, basically. So what is his value on the trade market? I don't think that you're going to be getting a top prospect. You're not going to be getting a, for example, we've already talked about Jordan Groshans and Orlavius Martinez. You're not going to be getting a prospect. But I think that they still could get some pretty solid pieces back for Austin Meadows. And some potential places he could be traded are the Phillies. I actually think that the Phillies would be a pretty solid fit here. He could play designated hitter for them. And maybe you could bring in Kyle Schwarber too, or Meadows plays left field or whatever. Who knows? The Phillies, don't have a great farm system. Maybe that hurts this trade a little bit. The White Sox, they could definitely use a right fielder. And Austin Meadows would be a really good one. Big upgrade. Cubs are another potential place. They have a decent farm system that could have some pieces to the Rays. The Rockies are another team, maybe trying to improve their team a little bit. Could do that trade. And the Rangers are another team that could. They need a lot of outfield help, not only in their farm system, but on their current Major League team, they need a lot of outfield help. And this could be a very, very good trade. So yeah, that's going to be the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn notifications. Like I said,